A year on Alpine farm, an older couple have two children. Bailey, who wanted to be a teacher, and the younger Francie, deaf, and although he worked like a man, childlike. Bailey teaches him. In his work, he can become frustrated, so when he throws an expensive mower over a cliff in a fit of pique, his father banishes him to the outskirts of the farm. Bailey visits his brother and they begin an affair. By winter, the boy is back in the house and Bailey is pregnant. Soon her parents must know. Channel Viaggio Celebrity presents 10 films like Alpine Fire. Number 10. Kika, 1993. Spanish director Pedro returned to his recurring framework of obit romance and death with this colorful comedy. Kika is a married makeup artist who falls in love with Ramon, a dead man whose face Kika is hired to prepare for a funeral. Kika's attraction resurrects Ramon and the two begin cohabiting. Kika becomes embroiled in a pair of criminal schemes, one involving her maid Joanna and Joanna's amorous retarded brother Pablo, the other involving Ramon's father Nicolas. After Kika is loved by Pablo, she learns the incident was videotaped by Ramon, the footage ending up on a tabloid television program hosted by Andrea. Kika and Ramon split, but the latter discover his father's complicity in the demise of his mother, leading to a violent confrontation. Number 9. Forbidden Passion, 1980. Teresa, a variety star, is forced to leave the premises where she works due to the news of her father's death in a small town, to which she goes in fear that her brother will not be able to solve the problem that arises present. Teresa's meeting with Miguel, her brother, gives rise to an unspeakable passion and seduce him. There is no point in the presence of Marisol, Miguel's girlfriend, or the immediate wedding project to take him away from that obsessive abomination caused by Teresa. At the same time, Leonor, owner of the premises where Teresa worked, with whom she also had love relationship, cannot resist her absence, takes a pistol and marches determined to take Teresa. On the beach, Teresa and Miguel are saying goodbye, but Leonor, seeing them, confuses the farewell and leads to a tragic outcome. Number 8. Seeds, 1968. Clarice is an alcoholic invalid who terrorizes her children. When her youngest daughter Carol invites her family to spend a Christmas week together, they include Matthew, a crackpot clergyman, Michael, a misogynist businessman whom is physically attracted to Carol, but abusive to his wife Susan, Margaret, the eldest daughter whom is currently dating a local tough named Jonathan, and Buster, the youngest son from a military school whom brings over his gay lover Drew. Meanwhile, the two live-in servants, Peter and Jessica, plot to kill Mrs. Manning to gain her money for themselves. But unseen killers soon begins killing off all the characters present for their debauched lifestyles they have led to since leaving the household. Seeds is one of those stress flicks that makes up for in spirit what it may lack in technical polish. It may indeed be rough around the edges, but Milligan and his co-writer John Bosch concocted a wonderfully sordid story and wonderfully sordid characters here. Number 7. Liebe, 2001. A young figure skater becomes jealous when her brother, also a young figure skater, falls for another young female figure skater. She thought she was all that he needs. The film tells the extraordinary relationship between brother and sister engaged in ice dancing. Siblings living in the same house spend almost all their time together. They are trained by their father. Since they spent all their time together, it began to emerge a close relationship between them. As time goes by, this relationship reaches its limit, in so much that little sister is jealous of the girlfriend of his brother. during a time when they prepare for the competition. The unconscious relationship between them raised the tension. Number 6. Linda and Abilene, 1969. In the 19th century, sibling Abilene and Todd, often on their western farm, become attracted to each other. The confused Todd flees to a nearby town where he meets Linda, a local bagel, and begins a relationship with her, while a rough cowboy named Rawhide assaults Abilene, leading Todd wanting revenge despite Linda's wariness and growing compassion for Abilene. It's difficult to tell what the production was thinking here. A western tale from 1969, Linda and Abilene isn't a romp, but a glum story of obsessive thought and physical reaction, barely registering as titillation as it explores the love appetite of siblings, while forced love and murder factor into the third act. Number 5. The Dark Side of Love, 1984. On the death of the old housekeeper Edmia, who up to that point has looked after the young Emilio, Patricia, the latter's sister, returned home, selling the prosperous fashion company she owns. His intention is to take care of his brother, with an introverted character, physically impaired, who spent his day indoor in his room reading magazine and watching videotape. Soon the relationship between the two became increasingly murky. The Dark Side of Love was co-written and directed by Salvatore Sempre, whose other notable films include Malaysia and Scandal. Key collaborators on The Dark Side of Love include cinematographer Dante Spinotti and composer Fred Bongasto. Number 4. Lilith, 1964. Ex-soldier Vincent returns home and takes a job at the nearby insane asylum. He enjoys the work and the inmates like his open friendliness. A particular relationship developed with the beautiful and intelligent Lilith, one that the doctor encouraged as it started to bring Lilith out of her cell. Attractive but withdrawn, she has proved something of an enigma for them, and they have perhaps not understood that her past and present use and misuse of this same attractiveness could be the key to her problems. They may also be failing to recognize that as Vincent comes under her spell, his own behavior could become dangerously obsessive. The film received such a hostile reaction from US critics that an aggrieved Robert Rosen pulled it out of contention at the Venice Film Festival and delayed its release in the UK by 2 years. Number 3. Aloa, Festivity of the Horse, 1988. Once a year, in ancient Greece, blindfolded horses searched in front of temple for porcelain-made organ to run into them. If they didn't find it, that year would be bad. This cheerful ceremony was called by the ancient Greek of Halo. Based on a love triangle, the film attempts to break its boundary by emphasizing the ubiquity of the conflict between love and loneliness. A German couple, middle-aged Manfred and his much younger wife Myra, originally from Zagreb, are flying to Har. They stay at home for the widow, Mrs. Mary, between whose son and Myra spark erotic spark. During their first encounter, couple experience emotional bond that will affect them all. This is the basis on which these four individuals will discover themselves in search of an emotional stronghold and turn toward each other. All time there is a marked tension between Manfred and Mira, and the end of the film reveals Mira's secret and the real reason for her arrival to her. The catharsis of an unusual marriage is the same with the story of Priya and his wife Hekaba. Number 2. This Pity Sees a Hawk, 1971. In the city of Mantua during the Italian Renaissance, Giovanni, the son of a propertied man, is sent to a study abroad and he never meets his sister Annabella. who is a couple of years younger than him. After 10 years of separation, the now beautiful Annabella is reunited with her brother for the first time as adolescents. The young siblings are immediately attracted and cannot help to fall in love with each other. After struggling with their feeling for some time, Giovanni and Annabella begin a secret relationship and she becomes pregnant. Knowing that the world will condemn them, Giovanni leaves his father's villa, and Annabella accepts the marriage proposal of her suitor, the wealthy noble Sorenzo. After Sorenzo discovers that he has been the object of a deception, he makes plans for a bloody vengeance. Number 1. Road to Salina, 1970. Jonas is on the road to Salina. He stops at a gas station and its owner Mara is struck by his resemblance to her dead son Rocky. He decides to stay on and meet Mara's friend Warren and Rocky's seductive sister Billy. But dark facts are to be revealed about the death of Rocky. Rita Hayworth, in a financial distress at the time, joined the crew with a slight apprehension because of a previous film experience in Italy, where she had not been treated too well. George Lautner later claimed that she was so warmly welcomed by his production team and felt so happy during shooting, she genuinely wept when time came to split up.